Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly excited that you joined us on this week for another exciting session of Action Coaching. Now remember, Action Coaching is designed to coach your God-given potential out of you so that you can live your best life now. All of us need a coach. Nobody makes it on their own, but we all need a coach. So I'm certainly excited about you being with us. And today I'm going to talk about 5 things you should practice every day. And I believe if you practice these 5 things, you can be successful in a lot of things that you're believing in life you want to achieve. So let's get started. Number 1 is you got to make a decision about your day. Most people in the world never make a decision on any one thing. And not to make a decision is making a decision within itself. Do you know that successful people that accomplish things, have decided every day that they're going to get up and they're going to work, they're going to put the grind in, they have made a decision. I remember when I made the decision for the path that I was going down, then my decision helped me to realize that I didn't have time to hang out with this group of friends, or I didn't have time to participate in that, because a decision demands that you decide how your day is going to go, how your life is going to go. So you have to make a decision. A decision settles you down and it keeps you from being distracted. It gives you a goal for the day, a purpose, something that you can put your energy into. Because if you get up every day and have not decided what is important, you'll find out that you don't use your energy on so many things during the day, and you haven't accomplished any one of the things that you were using all your energy on. So you got to make a decision. And I want you to stop and think about that. What have you decided to do with your day, or your week, or your life? Everybody got to make a decision. Now, once you made the decision, number 2, that's when the planning starts. Because when you made a decision, you got to plan how are you going to carry out the decision that you made. What do you need to engage in that need to be a part of the plan? Planning is where your imagination comes alive, because when you're planning, you can see so many things. I love talking to people who are visionaries like myself. And when we make a decision to do something and then we begin to plan, so many things come with that plan because our imagination is expanding. That we can do this, we can do that, because your imagination opens up when you have a plan. Kind of like building a building. You can decide what building you're going to build, but however, you have to go to an architect to get the plans and get the drawings done. And when you begin to plan, and you say, oh no, I don't want this room this big or that room this big. I want it this small, or I want the elevator over here and I want this and that. That is what you call planning. What is your plan for your life? Have you thought about making a plan? Now, you got to have a plan for where you want to go. If you plan to go to college, then what are you doing to make that plan come to pass? Have you applied for scholarships? Have you saved money? Or have you looked into the college information to see best how that plan can come to pass? So now, we talked about 2 of them. Decision. We talked about planning. Our planning explores the imagination. And when you got a plan, then that's when you can see things unfold. whether you're an athlete, a business person, or striving to be a business person, you got to have a plan for how you're going to get there. Isn't it exciting the day that we live in? I remember in my day, if you wanted to go somewhere, you had to have a map. And you would take time to read the map, and the map would give you the various roads you had to go on to get to the destination that you had planned to go. But now, through technology, you can have an app on your phone, and you can just push a button, but the app still does the same thing. It tells you the direction you need to go to get to your destination that you have decided to go, you made a decision on, and you have planned to go. Life success is all about having a plan. I know a lot of people say, well, I'm just going to go out there and put the plan together as I go. I can tell you right now, you're not going to make it. You done failed already. Yes, I've been there and tried that too. You got to have a plan. If you're going to be rich, what kind of plan do you have to make you rich? What are you going to invest in? What are the things that you're going to try? So you got to have a plan. Now, my third point is this. I'm looking at my notes for my third point, but my third point is getting started. Once you've made the decision, once you come up with a plan, now what actions are you going to take to make this happen? Nothing is going to happen unless you put the action in. I like to say it, when we were growing up, you got to do the grind. You got to do the hustle. You got to put your go-get-it attitude on. What are you willing to do to get what you need? What actions are you willing to take? You can be the most you can want to be the most successful whatever, but you've got to put the action in. Isn't it amazing? An example, they got all these exercise machines. They got the treadmill, they got the various type weights. They got people that even talk to you while you're exercising. They got the bands. They got various different things. They got pills that's supposed to make you lose weight. They got all of these things to help a person maybe lose weight or get in shape or get in the best shape that they want. But you know what the amazing thing that they don't have a pill for and they don't have a machine for is the action you got to take to get this done. So what actions are you willing to take? Now, I've talked about three of them. I've talked about you got to make a decision, you got to have a plan, and you got to be willing to take action. Have you decided on just the first three? What actions are you going to take? Usually when you take action, you run into other things that'll help your plan develop and the decision that you made simply because you took action. There's a little scripture in the Bible. It's not preached much on. Very few people pay attention of it. But it talks about action. It'll say, seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be given. Knock and the door will be open. Now, all three of those things denote an action that you have to take to get anything. So what actions are you willing to take? Isn't it amazing that you see so many people that want certain things and will not take the necessary action? They want to do this. They want to do that. I might go to college. I'm going to college. Or I'm eventually going to have a business. Or I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Or I'm going to do this and that. And they never take the action. It's almost like when you see them the next time and they go to say it, say, look here, just don't say it. I know that you're convinced about it when you're taking the action. So you have to take an action. So, number one, you got to make a decision. Number 2, got to be a plan. Number 3, you got to take action. I'll be right back to talk about my last 2, so I don't want you to go anywhere. Welcome back. I've been talking about 5 things that I believe that will help you to be most successful in your life. I talked about number 1, you got to make a decision. Number 2, you got to plan. And then number 3, you got to take action. Now, number 4 is learn to appreciate the progression. The progression means that everything is not going to happen all at once. But as long as you can see you making some steps every single day, then you got to learn to appreciate those steps. I mean, if you're going to run a mile or you're going to go 200 miles, it's all going to start with the first step. And I've seen very few people that achieve running a mile in just one step. So they have to enjoy, they have to appreciate the progression that you have to take each and every single day. No dream is going to happen overnight. No success is going to happen overnight. I know it may seem like it happened overnight, but no success is going to happen overnight. It's the progressions that you make every single day that get you started along the path of accomplishing the things that you desire. So appreciate the progression. I remember that when I was dreaming about certain things, I remember that I wanted a nice car, but I couldn't get the nice car first, so I had to start with a car that at that particular time wasn't so nice. But I did have a car, and I was on my path to the progressions. I had that car, and then after that car let me down, I was able to get a little better car, and the progression allowed me to climb the steps and eventually get what I desire. Life is like that. Don't hate the process. The process is simply the progressions you have to take to get to where you want to go. Wouldn't it be, we all would wish that it would be so easy if we could just skip those steps, but you can't skip those steps. You might as well learn to appreciate the processes that you got to go through to get where you want. Haven't you seen a lot of times, maybe you haven't, but I have, that I've been around some great cooks. And I can decide what I want to eat, and I would love to have it 2 minutes after I said I want to eat it. But then you see the great cooks, it's a process that they have to go through. It's certain things they have to do in order to the chicken, to the steak, to the greens, to the cake, whatever it is. And you're sitting there thinking, when in the world are they going to get through because I am hungry? But however, when you watch great cooks go through those processions, those progressive steps, when you eat that meal, you can appreciate the joy in having to wait till they did it right. That's the way life is. It's progressions. It's steps after steps after steps. They start out with small steps. Sometimes they're bigger steps. Sometimes you're running up the steps, but you're still going to have to go up the steps. So you have to have the progression, and everyone needs to understand. Now, I went through all 4 now. I went through make a decision. You got to plan. what actions you're going to take, and you got to appreciate the progression that you're making. Don't get frustrated because it didn't happen all at once. There are steps and you're reaching your goal, but you have to take the steps. Nobody want to go through the process of becoming great, but however, the only way you're going to be great is you're going to have to go through those progressive steps to get where you want to go. So progression is your step that you got to take. So understand, one step at a time, and if you keep doing it, you're going to see that you came up a whole lot of steps. So progression is the 4th point. And the last point of the 5 is you learn to appreciate your achievements. Once you've achieved some things after you've done all of the 4 things I just talked to you about, you're satisfied. You're rejoicing that you did not give up. You're thankful that you did make a decision, that you did plan, that you did decide the actions you were going to take. And then you did begin to understand the progression that you had to do it day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out. But when it all comes together, you appreciate the fact, you celebrate your achievements. You appreciate the fact that you didn't quit when you felt like quitting. I can look at so many things in my life that I thought would never happen because it looked like the days slowed up, the steps slowed up, the action slowed up, and all of these things slowed up, but I kept at it. I kept going. I kept applying these 5 things. And when I began to get to that last step where I could appreciate the achievement, you know why you could appreciate the achievement? Because it wasn't about anybody else. It was all about the fact that you did not give up, that you persevered and kept going. So it's only right that you should celebrate your achievement. It's not about other people celebrating you. That's not the case. It's simply about you being able to sit down and say, I did it, I stuck to it, I made it, and now I can appreciate it. So many times in life, people try to make you feel bad about the achievements that you have. And they don't even realize all of the things you had to go through to get to the point that you are. But however, they might not appreciate it, but I'm definitely going to celebrate myself and understand that that's a necessary part of being successful in life. So let's go over all of them again. Number 1, got to make a decision. Number 2, got a plan. Number 3, you got to decide what actions you're going to put in. And number 4 is you got to go through the steps, the progression. You got to understand that that's going to happen. And number 5, you'll be able to celebrate your achievements. So many things I've learned to celebrate because I stuck with God's word, I stuck with His plan, and I watched the achievements take place in my life. You know the reason that I'm able to celebrate is because when you see some achievement, you begin to understand how important the other 4 steps were. So I just decided on today, 5 simple things that you can begin to practice. You can begin to put in place in your life, and you will watch yourself have good success. Now, I know that you've been blessed by this, and I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your questions about the 5 things I just said to you. How do you feel? Or how can we help you to further move on some things that will help you do these 5 steps every day? Obviously, in the time that I have on Action Coaching, we don't have time to get into all of the details, but we are here. And I would like to have a whole coaching session on your question. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Well, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Tap somebody and say, I'm made for miracles. Now, you know why God allowed things to happen to you? He want to teach you that there are about 5 people got it. He want to teach you that there are. So whatever the devil knock you back with, God said, now's the time to show him that he can't keep me there. Y'all ain't talking. Now is the time to let the devil know greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Because the devil feel like he can attack your body. He can attack your spirit. But if your spirit is not tied into your body, you can be just like Job. Though he slay me, yet shall I trust him. In all my appointed time, I'm going to wait till my change comes. But he wasn't looking at the outside. He was looking at the inside.
Thank you for being a part of Action Coaching. I trust that Action Coaching have helped to inspire you to start on that journey that you are destined to go on. It is our desire that we all enjoy the things that God have in place in our life. Now, I know some of you say, well, my life ain't going so well right now. Well, guess what? It ain't over. There's still things that you haven't even walked in yet that God has designed for you. And that's why you need Action Coaching to help you to not give up, don't quit, but learn the tools you need to continue moving on this journey. Now, I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. We need for you to help us to continue to share Action Coaching with so many people. So many people have been blessed. They've been touched. They moved into bigger and better things as a result of Action Coaching, and you are making that happen by sowing into Action Coaching with your financial support. Now, there's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways that you can give to Action Coaching, and certainly I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I certainly appreciate your support and your love for Action Coaching. Encourage others to watch us here, so they could be blessed by Action Coaching and improve in their life. Certainly we thank God for you. Thank God for you being with us for another exciting session of Action Coaching. As I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.